Hi, Kim Komando here. Prepare to be amazed. We're doing something special, something different, because I want you to actually try my Kim Komando show. That's the big weekend show. So here's hour two. It is actually a 4-hour production, but here's hour two of the show. I want you to try it out. Now, if you totally love it, and I know that you will, wherever you get your podcasts, I want you to search for the Kim Komando show with a K, of course. So we have all these wearables, fitness watches and rings, but there's a new type of ring. It's called the Raw ring. It's 2 rings. You put one on yourself and you put one on your partner. And it's just packed with tons of artificial intelligence and biometrics and biosensors and accelerometers, and even a microphone is on this little ring. Here's how it's different. Of course, it's going to capture your heart rate, but it's also going to capture your lover's heart rate. And it can distinguish between a heart rate for normal exercise and a heart rate for arousal.
How?
And it changes color. So if your partner, your lover, is aroused, your ring turns pink.
Question. Where do I wear this ring?
On your finger.
Oh, finger. Okay. All right.
Finger. Yes, on your finger. If you have to wear this ring to keep track of somebody, you need to break and go.
Don't waste money on the ring. Mm-mm. Use that money on your lawyer.
They say marriage is like a 3-ring circus.
Who's they?
First, you get the engagement ring, and then you get the wedding ring,
right?
And then you get the supper ring. You can relate to that.
I can.
Unfortunately.
And then the suffering ends.
All right. On that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to this. It's America's largest, best, award-winning show about all things digital. I'm, of course, America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again to make sure that you're always tech ahead and never left tech behind. And joining me is my cohort in tech crime, Andrew Babinski.
Hi, Kim.
Hi. So would you ever wear that ring?
Sure. Someone wanted me to. I don't know how it works. How does it know when I'm at the gym or when I'm with
It says your heart
Gina?
rate. Your heart rate's different.
I don't believe it for a second.
You don't think so?
No, I'm not going to invest any money in this company.
No. Hey, listen, you can find the Kim Komando Show streaming in your favorite radio app. We're also on 420 top stations, and you can now get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast. So wherever you get your podcasts, just search for Komando with a K. And the Komando hotline's open right now at 1-888-825-5254. And just a reminder, you can always drop me your questions over at the website, komando.com, and hit that link that says Ask Kim. Every single day I spend an inordinate amount of time making sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech world. I go to at least 35, 40 different sites, and here are the top 5 things that you need to know about right now. And I will raise my hand and make a confession that I read about a new AI chatbot with direct ties to China, and I signed up and I used it with great success.
Whoa. Why would you do this?
It's called Manus, Manus. And it's not just another chatbot. This is a little different. It's like having a digital worker sitting right next to you. It's far more capable of anything that has been ever produced. It's better than chatbot's deep research by DeepSeek. And here's what's different about it is that when you give it a task, it will say, I'm going to be working on this. And if I have any questions, I'll reach out to you. And when I get done, I'm just going to send a notification through your browser, or you can come back and check. So I don't want to get into what I put into Manus.
Was it work related?
100% work related.
Would it be something, I'm just trying to get an idea. I'm not trying to get it out of you. Would it be something that normally you'd have went to ChatGPT for?
It's something that I would have had to have hired a group of people to work 5 days a week for at least 3 weeks.
Wow.
For this whole group to do a complete analysis of the situation, make recommendations, analyze the data, and then I tried to use ChatGPT with the data, and ChatGPT said The file was too big.
Oh my, wow. Now, you had to come back to see the results. How long did you have to wait?
30 minutes.
Which isn't bad.
Versus 3 weeks.
Right.
And hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
But,
did you put in company information? I'm guessing this is work related.
Yes, I did.
And you're not worried about that going straight to China?
Well, I'm not. And at some point I will tell you why I'm not. But I don't want to talk about it here.
Sure.
Because I'm just not. Because it's not overly confidential. And it really, I don't want to get into it, but it's not gonna matter to anybody's life.
So if it got out there, wouldn't make sense to anyone anyway.
No, not at all.
Gotcha.
So it's under private invitation right now, but that doesn't mean you can't use it. You can go to Manus. It's manus.im. And when it says, do you want to invite, then you give them your email address and then you say who you are and why you want it and all that other good stuff. And in case if you have a major project at work where you're trying to come up with prototypes for a product, I also use it as to give me prototypes for a product.
For China?
Prototypes, I was talking about packaging.
I understand, but of all the countries in the world, they're kind of known for ripping off ideas when it comes to innovation.
No. I was asking it to innovate for me.
Right, and then it does, and then they steal it.
No, it's the ideas were not that good. I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
Speaking of the future, if we start looking at laptops for the last 5 to 10 years, they've been pretty much the same design. Clamshells. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, now we're going to start having new and improved laptops. The Asus ZenBook Duo has 2 screens on one device. Lenovo has just announced the laptop that the display stretches. So you can pull it up or put it back down. It's actually kind of cool. Self-healing materials on your laptop. So if you nick it, all of a sudden it's just going to be better.
How does that work?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
That sounds like some sort of voodoo magic, if you ask me.
My laptop was making noises the other day.
Was it?
It was singing.
What was it singing?
I don't know. It's Adele. All right, that was dumb. Okay, there's this woman by the name of Jennifer Castro. I don't know if you heard about this. In December 2024, she boards a flight and she paid for a window seat. She picked the window seat. And as she goes to her seat, a child is sitting there. And she says to the kid, hey, this is my seat. The kid moves, but then oh, mommy, the mean lady made me move and all this other stuff. And then another passenger starts filming Jennifer and says, I'm recording your face. This is disgusting. This is the 21st century and people have no empathy for children. The video hit TikTok, millions and millions of views. National news picks it up. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that she has had so much online hate. Okay. Insults, death threats, harassment. She had to quit her banking job.
Death threats because you asked a child to get out of your seat?
Yes, that she paid extra for. Okay. And she said that now she's suing the airlines and the person who filmed her for public shaming.
Why the airline? That one doesn't add up.
Because they let it happen.
I guess.
You know. Millennial parents now are looking at tech products. Like the Snoo Smart Sleeper Bassinet. It automatically rocks babies to sleep and plays white noise, adjusting to crying by motion and sound. Okay? $1,200.
Okay, it sounds useful, but I can rock my child for free.
Wi-Fi enabled breast pumps. You can't use those.
I can try. Wi-Fi enabled? Why do they need to be Wi-Fi enabled?
Because that's be on the internet. So that this way it can track everything. And it has auto switching modes and a free app to track the volume and history and control the pump remotely.
Ooh, remotely.
$400. But this one is really something. The self-driving AI stroller.
No, thank you.
Okay, guess how much the self-driving AI stroller is?
$3,000.
It is. How'd you know that?
I just guessed.
Yeah, you were right. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Speaking of, let's play a little game. We're going to be playing some sounds and tell me what they are. Number 1, Joey.
A baby?
Yes, okay. Got that. Okay, the second sound.
Is that a whale?
Close.
Dolphin?
It's an elephant.
How? Oh, okay. Size-wise, I was like a whale and an elephant. Okay, it's an elephant. All right.
Okay, all right. Number three.
Dolphins.
Close. A whale.
Oh,
Okay, all these sounds are from the Golden Record. The Golden
the
Record.
one we shot in outer space?
In 1997, aboard the Voyager 1 and 2 probes, it's literally a record coated in gold, and it's designed for aliens. It contains 116 images, music, sound, greetings in 55 languages to represent life here on Earth.
Whoa. Hold on. At one point, we thought that aliens would have record players?
In 1977, we did.
Boy, we were dumb.
Okay, so now it's over 15 billion miles from Earth, drifting beyond the solar system. Oh, by the way, if aliens do find the record, the cover includes instructions on how to play it, plus a map of Earth.
If it's from the 70s, it'll say, go to Radio Shack and get yourself a record player.
So they are sending signals, the power's running low. So this golden record, I mean, if we're not thinking that the aliens are going to be able to find it.
So when the power shuts off, it's just going to float in space rather than right now?
Orbiting.
It's floating in space?
Yes, but it's looking for aliens in case the aliens want to see what we're all about by listening to a golden record. Why a golden record?
I have no idea.
I mean,
People in the 70s were not bright.
That's true. Did you see the clothes? Oh, my God.
What did we do in the 90s? Send out an MP3 player?
Yes, a Walkman. Don't they know that aliens are more into comic books anyway? All that for that.
Super cheesy this week.
I know, it's bad. Let's see, we're going to be talking about how Amazon is selling used products as new and how you can figure out if that's happening to you. Tech support company charged with the FTC, and you may be getting some money back in case you got scammed. And of course, we have your phone calls, and you have me, Kim Komando, and then Andrew. Hey, I'm giving away an iPhone 16 Pro at winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com, $1,000 value, no purchase required, winfromkim.com. All right, Andrew, let's just plow right into the phone calls. Jeffrey in Reno, Nevada. Hi, Jeffrey. Glad to have you with us.
Hello, Kim. But thank you for the invitation.
So tell me what's going on.
Well, it has to do with a scam that I got involved in off of Instagram and into Bitcoin and everything else.
Well, tell me how it started and tell me where it is now.
It started back in January of 2024, and I got involved with this golfer online, and then we ended up into a chat room, which is a Google chat, and that went pretty well for a while, and then we switched over to Zangi. It's another chat room, and it's an encrypted chat room, and we started talking on there, and she got me involved in Bitcoin, and I said they look pretty good and everything else. And then she had this other lady that contacted me, which her name was Samantha Connor. And it basically started from there. And then she would text me and talk to me and ask me how it's going and this and that. And it was more like a Bitcoin love scam. And I fell hook, line, and sinker into it, and I started sending money out. And it went from there. It would go to her. It would go into Bitcoin first, then would go into blockchain, then would go into my account. Mm-hmm. And that account was the FX Global Export. And I got the app on it, and I saw money going in there. And to the date right now, it was supposed to be 1.300,000.
1.3 million, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes, 1.3 million. And I can look it up on my thing, and I can see it on there. And what happened is the initial way I started out with is I had purchased Apple cards. And I used my Discover card and my bank card and everything else. And Samantha, told me that it would be paid for by the time Miss Hannah and I got together, and she would retire from golf, and we'd move to Hawaii, buy a house, and everything else. Well, by the end of 24, December 24, I got a text from her and saying that she would. We couldn't do it this year because she had an extended contract with her professional golf. And so
she's a professional golfer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She is. Okay, so but I have a question. Did you give $1.3 million?
The account says $1.3 million that I can open up and I can see.
Okay, but how much money did you give her?
I gave her probably $50,000 or better.
So the $50,000 magically turned into $1.3 million, which is all bogus.
Yeah, because it was like 30% after 5 days.
Yeah, you know what? I'm always looking for ways to keep you safe on your devices. Did you know that there's malware out there that records every single thing that you type? It's called a keylogger, and it's one of the sneakiest ways that hackers steal passwords, credit card numbers, and private info. Scary, right? That's where Endpoint Lock comes in. Think of it like a secret vault for your keyboard. It encrypts or scrambles every keystroke that you type. Even if a hacker is trying to spy on you, all they'll see is uncrackable gibberish. It works quietly in the background on your devices, protecting you every time you log into your bank, shop online, or send a private email. Keyloggers are more common than you might think, but with Endpoint Lock, they don't stand a chance. Go to endpointlock.com/Kim. They're offering an exclusive deal just for my listeners. Get 10% off a monthly or yearly subscription using code KIM10. That's endpointlock.com/Kim using code KIM10 for 10% off a monthly or a yearly plan. Endpointlock.com/Kim. Endpointlock.com/Kim. Missing out on a show that everyone's talking about is not an option for me. I'm constantly signing up for this streaming service or that one, and then months later, I realize I'm still paying for the service. You know when you sign up for something, forget about it until after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month? Getting Rocket Money was a game changer for me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. They have over 5 million users and have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. Rocketmoney.com/Kim. Check it out right now. Rocketmoney.com/Kim. One of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside. Upside gives you the power to earn more on the stuff that you buy all the time, whether you're filling up your tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries. The Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year. The free Upside app gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Personally, I love using Upside to get cash back when I go out to eat and try new restaurants. With Upside, cash back is always just right around the corner. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's right, the free Upside app. Download it and use promo code KIMK. Get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. The free Upside app. Promo code KIMK. This is a classic scam. Now, Jeffrey, I normally don't do this, but I'm going to put you on hold. And the reason is that we have to pay some bills around here, okay? And after we pay the bills, we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about the golfer, Samantha, the app, the 50,000, the 1.3 million. Just nutso. So I want to get into this, and maybe we can even figure out how to get your money back. And Jeffrey has met a woman online.
Professional golfer.
We looked her up. She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
She's about 31 years old. And told Jeffrey that they were going to get together.
Right.
She's going to retire from golf.
And she hooked him up with a cryptocurrency expert,
Samantha.
Connor. Don't forget the last name.
Yes, sure.
Very important. And he ended up giving Samantha $50,000, which then he could see online turned into $1.3 million. But then he figured out it's all a scam.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like you're going to be moving to Hawaii with a professional golfer.
No, not at all. It extended into 2025. At the end of 2025, in December, she would retire from golf because she would have, close to $5 million, and we would move in, and then things started falling apart, and she was mentioning that she couldn't really talk to me on Zanji, only texting, because the management would go after her, and these people that are on Instagram, some are celebrities, some are not. The only way you can figure that out is with a check mark next to her.
And even that's not 100%.
Right.
Just because somebody buys a check mark doesn't mean that it's authentic. So you gave her $50,000, and you know it's a scam.
Yeah.
What made you think? How old are you?
I'm 72. Okay. I just turned 72.
All right. So what made you think? I don't mean to be mean, but what made you think a 30-year-old beautiful golfer making millions and millions of dollars a year is going to say, hey, listen, I want a 72-year-old guy to live with the rest of my life in Hawaii?
Because on the other chat room, Google Chat, we were talking, and it was all friendly and everything else. And it was like, it don't matter what your age is, love is love and everything else. And, I'd gotten pictures from her, and then I got a video that she sent me, and then I tried to check out the real one, and was never sent, and that person didn't do it to begin with, and so it was an impersonator, and I didn't realize that, but because of they're such pros at this that they can talk you almost into anything. Mm-hmm. That's why I just kept on going along with it. And the $50,000 is besides the $30,000 I'm in debt with my credit cards.
Oh, so really 80. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 30,000 rounded figure with my Discover card and my bank card, and it's a Reflect card and a check card that you could use in that one over, and then my Reflect card is they cut both of them off because I had overdrawn and took an advance loans on it or advance. And then it went up to 29%. And so the next payment is like, I'm devastated financially.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never gotten into anything like this before. And I was always pretty sharp on this. I'd cut people off, and I could see something coming along. But this one took me totally by the surprise, and it was just so cunning, and it's like, age don't matter. I love you, and it was all this, we'll get married, and honey, how's my husband doing, and and back and forth, and then this Samantha. She would say, Jeff, you got to make a deposit here. And so I'd make a deposit, and that deposit would go into Bitcoin. I would transfer it from Bitcoin into blockchain, and I would get a notice from blockchain saying that it was received, and I would get a Gmail from Samantha O'Connor saying, this is what your bonus is. Some of it was coming out to 20,000, 21,000, and everything else. And she had people working for her, vendors, and they on Bitcoin you can only send so much out of your account. They would only accept so much per month. At 4,000 a month.
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate because it's a very intricate scam, very much so.
I never heard of it before, and I thought this was a regular Bitcoin because I was seeing the results in this, and
yeah, but it's all what it is. It's all phony. It's all phony.
Listening to you describe it, even to this day, when you know it's a scam, you're saying that Sarah O'Connor had this whole staff working for her, when most likely
Samantha O'Connor.
I apologize. When more likely all of this is just one person doing everything,
or it's
sitting in
everybody
room.
in a room where they pass somebody off to the next person, to the next person,
Right.
to the next person.
There's no workers.
So let's talk about what we can do now.
Okay.
That, of course, you're going to report it to the FBI, the Federal Trade Commission. Okay.
I did the FTC, and that was like 3 weeks ago, and they got a confirmation number. They sent me a number.
All right, good. Okay, now I want you to freeze your credit reports. Okay. You can contact your credit card and bank fraud department and report these as unauthorized transactions. Now, I don't know if you're going to get your money back.
Well, the thing is with that is that these were through Apple cards. I bought Apple cards.
But you can still say these were unauthorized transactions. You can still say, that because basically, even if you authorized them at the time, basically what we're talking about is fraud. So these are fraud transactions. Now, whatever you do not go online and search for get my money back from a romance crypto scam.
Because that's another scam.
It's another scam. You're going to get somebody who says, oh, Jeff, I can get you your money back.
All we need is money.
And we can pay off your loans, and we can do this, this, and this, and this, and this. Now, what's interesting, Andrew, is we also have Bob in Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
Hey, Bob.
Hi. Hi, I'm here.
Did any of that sound familiar to you?
Pretty much, yes.
So was it the same golfer, the same scenario that you lost money in?
No, not that way. No, mine was a little different. And I did background checks and everything. There were documents involved that looked at the time legal. It turned out to be fakes and things like that.
So what exactly I thought you were the same golf scam, and I thought that was such a coincidence. We had two guys at the same time calling in. So how did you get scammed then?
How did I get scammed at? Out of $60,000.
Wow.
Mostly, yeah. I thought I was getting invested in a business. I saw the link for the business that she supposedly was a part owner of.
Hold on. Pause real quick. Who is the she?
You want a name?
Was it a famous person or just someone saying they were representing the business?
No, she's not famous.
Okay.
Because I did a background. Well, I'll tell you about the background check. Turns out she used to be a porn star.
Porn star.
A porn star.
Okay.
So not a golfer.
No, this wasn't a golfer. And from Germany.
Okay, a porn star from Germany reached out to you. And
well, no. Let me rephrase that for you, because she didn't reach out to me. I reached out to her through Messenger. She wanted to be friends. Okay, fine. So we talked a little bit, and before you know it, thought she was from Selby, North Carolina. And she didn't leave Selby, North Carolina to go to Turkey to get the cargo container that's got the stuff that they're going to eventually sell online. Supposedly high jewelry and things like that.
Okay.
And so I bought into it for a while, but then all of a sudden she started needing money to release the cargo container to get it shipped to Wilmington. And she supposedly got busted for cocaine one time, which turned out to be false. And they put her in prison. That's false. And she had a lawyer. Lawyer is legitimate, but I don't know that I was dealing with the same one.
You weren't.
Anyway.
No, you weren't. You weren't. So all total, this whole scam that you fell for was $60,000.
Yes. And most of it went through Cash App. Of course, once you go through that, it's gone.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had good credit and was able to get all kinds of credit cards. So I did all the money advances on them. That's where I got the money. So that's where 60 grand came for it. So one time she did send some money to my bank account, debit account. Like, I don't know, she sent 12,000 or 10,000, and then the next day took it out. Long story short, there, after the police checked it, they said there was probably some money laundering going on.
So what was your in the end? Were you going after the money, that you were going to take this money and turn it into 120,000, or did you have a romantic interest in this porn star?
Well, there was the romantic interest as well as the business.
Okay.
Both.
Same. So it's the
I
same
can give you a link to the business.
as Jeffrey, except for instead of a golfer, it was a porn star.
Right.
But, well, she's not doing it now, but
She's
one
not
time.
real.
probably not, although she won't talk on the phone. It's always text.
It's all,
With
yeah.
two-
You
with
know,
two
you
steps.
need to just cut off all communication, Bob. You do. You just need to just cut off any communication, close down whatever app that you're using, close down your Facebook account, and, pull yourself together to know that you've been taken, and they're gonna get every last dime that they can out of you.
And I feel horrible for
I know.
Jeffrey. And I feel horrible for Bob. But in these two phone calls, both of them are still referring to this as it was legitimate.
Because they don't want to know.
And it's just heartbreaking.
But I think both of them, Andrew, I think both of these gentlemen know that they got scammed.
Right.
But they still don't want to believe it because they're smarter than this.
But you heard Bob. Well, maybe part of that isn't true. No, none of it's true, Bob.
You know what it is? And I'm sorry to say that, and I don't mean to sound mean.
Okay.
They're both lonely.
Absolutely.
Okay. They're being targeted, preyed upon because they're lonely.
But that's what these scams do. They look for your weakness, whether it's lust, whether it's greed, and whatever you show them, they are going to clamp onto it and drain as much as they can.
I just hope that somebody's listening or watching right now, and it's something in here is resonating with them to say, I think I'm getting scammed and I'm not going to give another dime.
Right.
Because you're not going to get your money back.
Or the next time you get a message in your mailbox, hey, my name's Gina, I'm from Germany, and I used to, do porn, that you know immediately.
And I love you forever.
Right.
Not. So sad. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls. Hopefully no more scammers here on the Kim Komando Show. I feel so bad for these guys. I do. I mean...
And, you try to be as sensitive as possible, but sometimes you just got to grab them by the shoulders and just shake them.
I know. I don't mean to be mean.
No.
It's not my intention.
They've already suffered a huge amount.
But, golly gee, go to church. Go join a group.
And I
volunteer someplace. Get yourself out of the house.
I sit here and I go, how? But then you're right. I've never had that mindset. I've never been to a point where I'm either sad or lonely or broke, whatever, that this would be interesting, be intriguing to me.
Even look at it and go, oh, yes, I could get a German porn star and do a business together and get the cargo over to Shelby, North Carolina.
And then all my problems will be solved.
Maybe not. Marilyn in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hi there, Marilyn.
Hello, Kim. I'm so happy to talk to you.
Well, thank you. What's going on?
I have a problem. I am in need of archiving about 500 boxes of files.
Ooh.
And
gosh.
they have some sensitive information in them, so it's not something I want on the cloud. But I need to be able to index them so that I can research and find documents. And
how many boxes did you say? 500?
500. Mm-hmm.
And I, that's. Do you get out much?
Well, you're not going to if you're going to take on this project. See you in 2028.
Where's Marilyn? She's under box number 32.
There you go.
Is this for a business or is this all personal?
This is for business.
Okay.
This is
Now you know you can
clientele.
you can drop these off someplace. Just I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, the side of the
Right.
road, set them on fire, and drive away as quick as possible.
I'm not sure what
I got
happened.
Quotes of about $250,000.
Excellent.
Oh,
Okay.
my.
Excellent. Wow. All right. I'm just thinking, like, if this were my task, I would go on eBay and I would find a scanner that was used at a business and buy that for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, because that's where you need a machine made for that job. I mean, you can look at a Brother ADS 4900W for $700. Okay.
That's not going to do it.
It does 100 sheets at a time.
Okay, that's not too bad.
The woman has 500 boxes, Andrew. She's going to be here until 2070. Okay.
By the time she has these 500 scanned, she'll have accumulated 500 new ones.
Oh my gosh. Oh, poor woman. Look on eBay for a professional copier scanner, because so many companies like ours, we used to have one. We don't have it anymore. And I remember I got rid of it. There, I got so much heat. People were like going, I can't believe you're getting rid of the copier and scanner. I'm like, we don't need it. We don't need it. All right. Still to come, we have another scam to talk about, tech support scam, but you might be getting some money back here on the Kim Komando Show. The outfits were called Restoro and Reimage, and they just made tens of millions of dollars, but the FTC has actually shut them down, and they're giving back some refunds, and you may see that in your PayPal account from the FTC. Yeah, they are giving you money. Hey, enter to win that iPhone right now at winfromkim.com. You loved it, right? It's the Kim Komando Show. Wherever you get your podcast, search for Komando with a K, and then every week you can get the entire show right there in your favorite podcast player. And this way, truly, you will always be tech ahead and never left tech behind.